Hello, good people. This is Avril Hatala. Thank you for supporting my channel. I so enjoy bringing to life the biographies of our most cherished and entertaining stars. Don't forget to tell me how much you enjoyed this video by leaving a comment and subscribing to All Things Avril. Born Charles Robert Redford Jr. on August 18, 1936 in Santa Monica, California. His father, Charles Robert Redford, worked as a milkman, and his mother, Martha, was a stay-at-home mom. Martha often took Robert to Navajo reservations in Yosemite and Arizona. He was bullied as a young boy, and as a means to cope, Robert and a few of his friends started a gang called the Barons. They were hooligans, stealing and breaking and entering. Robert was good at only one thing, and that was baseball. He got fired from every job he had. Sadly, 1 year after graduating high school, his mom, Martha, died from septicemia. Robert was crushed, but he pulled himself together and he managed to get a scholarship for baseball. He went to the University of Colorado, but after 1 year he dropped out. He knew what he was and what he wanted, and that was to be an artist. So he went to Paris and studied and immersed himself in art and the political scene. Eventually, he had to leave penniless. In 1958, he sold his artwork in Europe to get airfare back home. He gathered a whopping $200. Robert's first wife, Lola Van Wagen, holds a special place in his heart. He spoke about her in a 2008 interview, stating that she always looked forward, and no matter what pain she had in the past, it remained the past. Lola is an environmentalist and an advocate for sustainable living. Robert and Lola's love story started in the 1950s when they met at the University of Utah. Robert and Lola were serious art school students and immersed themselves into painting while falling deeply in love. They married in 1958 and proceeded to live off of Lola's salary as a bank teller. Robert found himself work as an actor to financially support his art career. It was wonderful and full of love. However, as Robert's career in Hollywood took off, so too did the problems, with affairs and many nights away from home. Although he still wanted to be an artist, he knew that acting was bringing him financial success and access to the good life. The couple lost their son Scott in 1958 when he was just 2 months old. Lola clung to Robert and encouraged his projects and roles. She threw herself into environmental protection and incorporated it into their lives. David James, their second son, died from colon complications much later. They had a total of 4 children together. Robert lives in the mountains of Utah. He bought the property after his first film, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, in 1969. He knew from back then that he would need a place of retreat from fans, photographers, and the world.
Millions of fans all over the world still think of him as the Sundance Kid. He's romanced, on screen at least, some of the world's most beautiful women. And even though he's been around for more than 20 years, he's still the #1 pin-up boy to millions of fans. Australian audiences can now see him alongside Meryl Streep in Out of Africa, a movie nominated for 11 Academy Awards and tipped to take out the Oscar for Best Picture. But as we discovered when we met the Sundance Kid on his home ground in Utah, there's a lot more to Robert Redford than just a pretty face.
Better get ready. Ready? No, we'll jump. Like hell we will.
To most of us, Robert Redford will always be Paul Newman's mustachioed mate in that fun movie, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Despite being extraordinarily gorgeous, he didn't want the Hollywood routine, opting instead to tend the rugged terrain and bitter temperatures of his Utah compound, which boasted 6,000 acres of land. His looks began to fade along with the movie roles. That didn't bother Robert at all. He founded a film festival and named it Sundance. It is very well known and has produced films from independent producers that won many awards. It has launched the career of Quentin Tarantino, The films are political in nature and are normally not granted funding due to its censorship in Hollywood.
Which had to do with the outdoors and space. So that's what this is.
Back in the early 60s, when he made his first real money out of movies, Redford went on a land-buying spree here in the Wasatch Mountains, about 50 kilometres from Salt Lake City. He's never really stopped buying huge chunks of this magnificent country. And now, today, he owns what amounts to a private mountain kingdom, which he calls, predictably, Sundance. It's certainly a lot different from a Hollywood lot.
Yeah, that I will say. It's different from a Hollywood lot, although some people think this is a set.
Yes, it could be.
I imagine your audience think this is real, huh?
No, I think it's pretty real.
We spent a week putting this all up. If the wind doesn't come up, we'll be all right.
I can guarantee him it's real. Do you think that over the years that you've been in the industry that you could have coped if you didn't have this place to come to, this haven?
Nah. I couldn't have. I really need to get outdoors periodically or I go nuts.
These days, when Redford reluctantly leaves Sundance for Hollywood, he does so on his own terms, around $6 million a movie, and the privilege of choosing his own roles.
Robert has a deep fondness for Native Americans' plight and their culture. He embraces the Native American filmmakers and has many art and artifacts that he collected and was gifted from Native Americans. Robert created the Sundance Institute in 1984, where filmmakers could have full use of the Utah compound and film studio to create films funded by Robert and by grants and fundraising. Robert said it was a place for artists and the environment, giving a nod to Lola's influence. Robert directed and produced movies such as A River Runs Through It and Ordinary People. He won an Oscar for Best Directing for Ordinary People in 1981.
The nominees for the Best Achievement in Directing are David Lynch for The Elephant Man,
Robert Redford for Ordinary People,
Martin Scorsese for Raging Bull,
Richard Rush for The Stuntman,
Roman Polanski for Test.
May I have the envelope, please?
No.
No?
No.
What do you mean, no?
There's.
Thank you. And the winner is Robert Redford.
I was thinking, no, I wasn't thinking. I was just kind of blank. But you know how it is when somebody says to you about a year before, they say, you know, if anybody had told you a year ago that you would have been ... well, I just didn't think I was going to see this. But I'm no less grateful, and I would like to express my debt for the directors that I worked with in the past, for what I've learned from them consciously or unconsciously. And I would also like to say that it may not be too fashionable, but the fact is that I really do appreciate the support of Paramount Pictures, Charlie Bluedorn, Barry Diller. They let us make the film the way we wanted to, and I'm very grateful for that. There are a lot of people that I can thank, and I don't want to go on too long, but I couldn't go too much further without expressing what for me is the greatest gratitude. And that keys around the word trust. I really am grateful for the trust that I received from a terrific cast. Mary, Donald, Tim, Judd, Liz. I love them, and I appreciate their love too. So thank you all.
He acted in at least 74 films and produced over 48 films. In 2002, he was presented the honorary Oscar for Lifetime Achievement by Barbra Streisand, who co-starred with him in one of the most iconic movies of 1973, The Way We Were. Sadly, after 27 years of marriage and 4 children together, Robert and Lola divorced in 1985. They clearly have respect for each other still. Robert met Subulay Cesars in 1997 at Robert's Sundance Resort. They remained friends and would often discuss art together. The pair married in 2009. Subulay is a 60-year-old environmentalist artist from Hamburg, Germany. In 2020, Robert sold Sundance, his 2,600 acres of mountain resort in Utah, to Cedar Capital Partners and Broadridge Capital Partners. The price was undisclosed. As of 2025, the married 88-year-old Robert's net worth is $200 million. We love you, Robert. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. The purpose of this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.